600 k's southwest of Darwin. It's morning rush hour.
You're right, mate. Just keep working back to this flatty. I know there's a few cattle out there the way Matty's gone, eh?
This is Coolibah Station.
Follow our track, mate, left at this crossroad.
And these are the Joneses,
Good heavy pull, eh?
an Aussie family who muster cattle with helicopters.
No, I won't be able to hold this bastard.
Lots of helicopters. And it's another day on the job.
Go down underneath you on the right, underneath you there, Jimmy.
2 choppers are working over here. They'll bring the next mob of cows in. There's about 1,500 head of cows in total. We'll be going to get through them all today. It's a pretty big mob.
The Joneses work from home, mustering 80,000 cattle a year in their 1.3 million acre backyard.
In the early days, you might have 20 men to go and muster a paddock, and it might take you 3 days. You know, a helicopter can do it in half a day.
So who are the Joneses? The head of the family's a bloke called Milton. He runs the place.
We had 1 helicopter to start with, then we bought another one and bought another one, and 15 years ago we didn't have a telephone here, you know. And look what we got now. You know, it's good fun. I enjoy doing it. They're just blocking there until we clear this.
And every day he goes to work with the missus.
I'm Christina Jones and I'm Milton's wife. I met a wonderful man and fell in love and came here, I guess.
Hey!
Then there's the kids.
Hey! Come back this way a little bit, Bo.
Teenagers Bo and Alex go to boarding school in the city, but come back on holidays to lend a hand.
Growing up on the station gives you a lot of common sense, eh? If you do something wrong, it could end up costing someone a lot of money or their life.
Get the whole lot, Alex. Alex, the whole lot.
I like riding my horse. It'd be good to come home more often, but because I'm down there at school, I can't really.
Keep them going. Up 'em, up 'em. Hey! Oh, yeah, they grow up real quick, don't they, eh? I don't know anyone that doesn't miss their kids.
Especially when you can watch them do this.
You're going to get on one or one?
No way.
The teenagers are also role models for the other Coolibah kids. This is Little Milton.
He is similar to Big Milton, which makes my job very interesting.
These 5 are the heart of a big mustering family.
How many? You count them?
With the in-laws, neighbours and 30 live-in workers. That's a lot of mouths to feed.
Leon, Kate! Right, cowboy?
While mustering puts food on the table,
Money's in the bank. Fat lady's son.
it's not all the Joneses do.
I love doing all this stuff with Dad. This is pretty good lifestyle, eh?
Ah, yeah. Holy, have a look at that out there, look. You look at that.
No matter what it is, the Joneses do things a little differently round here.
That's good for you, eh?
And we'll be with them for a full season at Coolibah. Through the good and the bad.
There's a man down.
The tough times
More water.
and the triumphs. As the Joneses face off against whatever Coolibah can throw at them, the only question is, can you keep up? At Coolibah, the year starts with the wet season. Three months of rain when mustering stops, the workers go home, and the Joneses get all this to themselves. But not really by choice.
You've sort of got to prepare yourself pretty well before the wet season. Make sure that you've got everything you need because the river sort of backs up and the house actually becomes sort of an island.
Might go out that way, around that airstrip, straight across. Go straight out in the paddock there, look.
But today, someone's making the most of a bit of sun.
Watch where you're going now, watch the road. Reckon you can get it through the gate? If he's going to make a career in the bush, he's got to learn about it. You've got it. He learns by looking, showing, actually doing it. Not telling him, you've got to let him do it.
You can't knock little Milton back with a stick. He's going to go, he's going to do it, and that's it.
Come on, you're driving.
Sometimes you've got to remember that he is still only 3.
What do you reckon? Time to get a cold beer?
The drier weather is good for the Joneses. Soon, the river around the homestead will be low enough to let the workers back in for the mustering season. And at this point, there's really only one thing that could go wrong.
Big water coming, Dave. We've had this last bit of rain and I think we're going to get a bit more yet. You know, you can't drive anywhere, so you just got to sit down and...
Flood warning for Friday. The river will come up a fair bit, I reckon.
Yeah, they reckon she's coming big time.
The extra rain has kept the river around the homestead too high for vehicles to cross. And the workers are still on their way.
We got a lot of helicopters there sitting there ready to work and we'd like to see it pull up soon.
So the moment the sky clears, Milton goes to check the river.
It's nearly a metre high now. It was about 400 this morning. So yeah, it's coming up quick. Been big rain upstream somewhere. See what's going on here.
But he's about to find a more dangerous problem.
You see a big slide mark here where he's been coming in and out somewhere? Obviously there's one big old crocodile been hanging here, so we'll just try and do something with him. He's pulled up here this year in the flood, you know, come down. Mind you, he could be here too, don't worry. Anyway. Anything that's sort of still on the bank of the river, which we are right at Coolibah, is potentially bloody food for a crocodile, you know. So keep your feet out of the water. We'll go and get a bait for this crocodile.
When the river finally drops, the workers will have to cross it safely. So there's really only one thing to do. It's time to go croc trapping. We put the bait in here. The crocodile swims in there. And he pulls the bait. And we got him. The only problem is getting the trap over to the river. But Milton's got that sorted.
Milton sets traps and catches them and removes them, otherwise they eat the stock. The crocodiles, they're pretty common in the river. Yeah, you don't go in the water.
We'll put it half in the water and half out. The old crocodile will just slide straight in there. That's all we need to do.
Oh, we'll get him eventually, one way or another, eh? Either that or he'll get up.
While Milton waits to see if the crocs are biting, back at the homestead, Mrs. Jones also has some errands to run. And this is how she gets around.
We bought this from the wreckers for $500. It's just perfect for scooting around the place. Bit of a ditch here.
That's little Milton's pony. Are they sooty?
I love the horses. One of those things I'd love to ride all the time, but yeah, we've got other things to do. I always loved riding, and it was a sport that was a getaway from the everyday business activities here, and it's sort of a social chance to get out and see people and have a bit of fun, I guess.
This year, Christina's pretty excited to get back into competition. She's bought a new horse, which is on its way to Coolibah.
The new mare, she's got very good bloodlines and been trained extremely well. Very exciting to get her and such a highly trained, well-performed horse.
But just like the workers, if the flooded river doesn't drop, the horse won't be able to get in. And there's still the matter of the rogue Croc.
Got a crocodile trap in here. Looks like we got one in the trap in here. Best thing is whenever you're mucking around with a crocodile trap, you always have a stick in your hand. Because if a crocodile comes, that's the best thing you can do to him, hit him on the head.
There's two types of crocs at Coolibah, the man-eating salties and the smaller and harmless freshies.
Just make sure there's nothing outside the trap here first.
So what's Milton got in his trap?
It's only a little freshie, eh? Only a little fella. The salties eat the freshies, eh? Eat me when I come here too. Wee little fella. It's a good indication that it's telling me there's no big saltwater crocodile here because the salty will eat those little freshwater fellas too, eh? Yeah, it's quick, aren't they, eh? There he goes.
Just to be safe, he'll reset the trap because you never know. Hey, Milton?
That's the thing, eh? You never know with them. Last year one nearly got me. But that's another story.
The wet may not have broken, but everyone at Coolibah is enjoying some rare sun.
Up here, mate, right under me now.
Though the river's still up, the first workers are already arriving.
Just go up here, Hamish. I'll just land on.
In the ute are Christina's brother Hamish and his wife Christy.
It's always exciting to get away, but it's exciting to get back too at the same time. Miss the horses, miss my truck, miss Milton and Christina and little Milton. Just miss the whole lot, really.
I got engaged to Hamish and I moved up here. I do lots of things around here. I help out with the horses and look after little Milton and help Christina around the house.
This will be the couple's second year at Coolibah as man and wife. But this time there's only one way to get across the river to the homestead.
It's always exciting to fly in. Especially after a couple of months to come back here and see the changes, see the rain, see everything green. You sort of think how lucky you are to be up here.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
All right.
Hamish and Christy will spend the next 8 months at the station. But unfortunately, Christy's just found out she's been thrown a job she didn't expect.
Christina asked me to start cooking when we came back because Trevor is not here. And I kind of went, oh, God, not again.
Coolibah's regular cook, Trevor, hasn't shown up, leaving Christy to play Master Chef.
Well, Trevor pulled the pin at the end of last year.
He'd been there a bit too long, I think. Trevor, he'd done a stint there about 8 months and didn't go away. And, you know, you sit out in the place for that long, you get a bit sour and mungery, eh?
He doesn't like helicopter pilots. One in particular eats at the pub because Trevor won't feed him.
But anyway, we gave him a month or so and gave him a call and begged and pleaded a bit, and he decided to come back.
But like the end of the wet season, Trevor was meant to be here already.
No idea, I think he's coming back. Couldn't tell you, couldn't tell you to be honest. I guess he's coming back.
The trouble for Christy is that even if Trevor shows up, he mightn't be welcome.
Once someone leaves, they leave, you know what I mean? That's sort of how I am. You walk out the door, you stay out the door, you know what I mean? All right, no worries, Ian.
A few meals later, and Milton's decided to try and make a profit from his croc problems.
I'm just up here going to collect a few crocodile eggs down on the Adelaide River. Fly along in a helicopter and locate the nest, and locate where the crocodile is and land beside it, or walk in. Several different ways you can do it. Crocodile nest, they've got everything in them. I'll say that stopped the snakes and centipedes going up his leg.
The croc population is out of control in the territory. To help keep numbers down, the government lets Milton collect eggs to sell to croc farms.
It's hard work, eh? Especially when the crocs start jumping out at you.
Joining Milton on today's hunt is local daredevil Andy.
We carry a radio so I can communicate with the pilot, Milton.
Beautiful.
If the crocodile's going to eat me, I tell him to go.
If the crocodile's there at the front of the helicopter, Andy will use the box to put between the crocodile and the nest. And as you can see, that's a box that's been used quite a bit for picking up eggs, all the bloody teeth marks, you know what I mean? They're probably the worst crocodiles in Australia anyway, for attacking you. Well, they'll eat you, put it that way.
All ready to go. Stick, that's the most important bit. Stick in the box.
Helicopters and crocodiles, it's all a pretty dangerous business. But yeah, it's all just another day's work.
The hunt is on. But before our blokes get anywhere near the bellies of the beasts, they'll need to find some nests.
Crocodile there too, eh?
You know, they nest in the same spot each year.
Biggest old man there laying in the mud, look. That is probably one of the biggest crocodiles I've seen for a while, eh? There's 4 or 5 nests just along here, I think, eh? The nest there. That's just left out of the water a good 10 foot. We'll just go around and we'll turn around and come back again. Here it is right here, this is the one we're looking for.
It's time for the boys to get to work.
Just check that hole, eh?
Trouble is, they've got company.
Here it is right here, this is the one we're looking for.
Milton and his mate Andy are on the hunt for croc eggs.
Just check that hole, eh?
The boys have found their first nest, but where's the mother croc?
I might just have to let you out, eh? Just go in there, sneak in there steady, and I'll get out of the way.
There's a nest there and we landed on it. Andy went in onto it. I've got to keep an eye out for a crocodile and talking through it.
There should be one here, I'm telling you, one cheeky one here.
Probably one of the most frightening places you'll ever get into, yeah. Unless your leg's caught in a vice and you're on fire, that'd be frightening. Yeah, being in a croc nest is pretty touchy business.
There's nothing in there. I'll cover it up, mate, and leave it.
The nest is empty. But they can hold up to 100 eggs, which can be sold for about $2 grand.
Have a bit more of a look out there, eh?
Oh, the empty nest is quite frustrating, actually. It's either someone's taken them or they just haven't been laid yet. It's a frustrating waste of time and energy.
Not much action there. All right, we'll find something here. We keep persevering.
And with the chopper costing $300 an hour to run, we've guys need to find some eggs, and soon.
You go out there all day, you got to produce some eggs. You know, you got to produce.
Not so daring, but just as important is the maintenance that needs doing during the wet. Right now, Christina's brother Hamish is trying to fix the station's broken loader.
Once we take the nose cone and radiator off, it's a lot easier.
But the part needed to fix it has been 3 months coming.
As far as, you know, anything for this loader, it's pretty difficult. That's all got to come out of Darwin, and then if they haven't got it, they've got to order it in from Sydney or somewhere, you know. It's pretty terrible, yeah.
Luckily, Hamish has the word the part's being delivered today. But there's still the swollen river in the way.
You know, Bluey's wife's just come back from Darwin. She's got some parts for us for her. See, the water's at about 0.8 of a metre. It doesn't look like it's running very quickly, but it is. It's a pretty quick-flowing river. It's obviously too high to get vehicles over.
And Hamish is not convinced that rogue croc has disappeared for good.
No, just the big saltwater crocodiles. Who needs evicting? Hamish, how you going? Good, mate, how are you?
I got some mower blades and a little package that was in front for you there.
That's what I was waiting for, a little package. It's like Christmas when the river's up and you're trying to get stuff over the river. Very exciting, you know? Oh, lovely. It's the right gear. Oh, my worst nightmare now, I've got to go to work.
Armed with his part, Hamish sends the boat on its way. But that may have been a tad premature.
We need a boat!
Christina's new horses are waiting to be dropped off.
Yeah, come on!
And she needs to cross the river to pick them up.
But it's proving to be a little more difficult than first thought.
Gopher!
So here's Christina, waiting on this side of the river. She's so excited about going to get her horses, but we can't get across the river because it's up too high.
And with no pilots around, Mrs. Jones is stuck.
Morning, Blue.
Morning.
Oh, are you going across in your boat?
No, why? Do I need a boat?
If we can't get over the river, we won't be able to pick up the horses, so it's kind of a bit touch and go.
But just when all hope seems lost, a timely spare part turns one man into a knight in orange armour.
Hamish comes around the corner with the loader, chucks Christina and little Milton in and takes them over. Well, he is the most gorgeous, sexy, handsome man in the world, but no. He might not look like it, but he comes up with some pretty good ideas. He's a thinker, he's a smart man.
Yeah, we might find one here.
So far, Milton and Andy have come up empty on their hunt for croc eggs.
Oh, that's a good one. We can walk in there, you know, we can land out here and walk into it.
They've found another nest, and this time Milton's taking charge.
Right? She's there, look.
It just leapt there.
You see the crocodile take off and you'll get that 4 or 5 minutes where he's sort of settling his heartbeat down, and that's when you get the eggs and get out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right, Andy, let's go, mate.
The boys are in the thick of it.
Oh, she's right there, look under the bush. See that little bit of, you can see the water moving there a little bit.
But will they finally find their buried treasure?
Quickly now.
There's a good egg here.
That's white gold.
But it's no time to lose focus.
You need to stay there and be quick with your egg collection because she won't go away, she'll protect the nest.
We put a mark on them so you can tell which way they've been sitting in the nest. If they roll over, then the little baby croc will die and it's no good.
The nest's a good haul, but not enough.
Fertile ones there, back in the hole, eh?
Yep.
The boys' 2-hour trip is really starting to cost.
We've got to find something, not a lot of water.
But Milton's got a hunch the biggest score is still out there.
The nest there?
There was 3 nests that were right up the end of a salt arm that hadn't been found on the first 2 runs.
But there's a slight problem.
Gee, he's a big one, that one.
Milton can't land the chopper anywhere near the nest. And there's no safe path to it on foot.
No good trying to try that there, you'll end up getting chewed. We might land or get handy and...
At Coolibah, giving up is not an option. So the lads decide to improvise.
Yeah, I'll just give it a poke in there, handy in that hole, eh, and I'll hover you, mate. Righto, mate. Oh, here you go, big one here. Biggest one here, and the biggest one. Hey, the hole's clear, let's get it. Good net, this one. Yeah, right, Andy, let's go, mate. Right over, here you go. Here you go, mate.
2 nests were good full nests and the other one was empty.
That's it, just pick your box up. That's it, fire away.
All in all, the guys found 3 nests and collected around 250 eggs.
Good to be finished, near and clock.
At $20 a pop, that's a nice little earner before mustering begins again. It's a new day, and once more the sun's come back to Coolibah. But Trevor the cook hasn't, so Christy's still the chef.
Yeah, there's no one else to do it, so it's my job now.
While Christy's day isn't off to a good start, a little ways down the road, Christina's finally meeting her new horse.
It's very exciting. This is the new one I just bought. She a beauty?
She's arrived from Tamworth in fine form.
I've come a fair way, however many thousands of kilometres that is. And this other one's from Milton, if Milton decides to ever get on a horse.
But there's still the issue of getting them across the flooded river. At the homestead, Milton's off to check the water level. And after a long wet, he may be in for a surprise.
It's sort of dropped there now, I reckon. It was about a metre high this morning. Can go down quick, eh? We can just about drive across it.
For Christina, the timing couldn't be better. The low river is a sure sign the wet is over. And the horses can come home.
It was good to see the new mare, and it was very exciting to get her over the river.
And now the workers can follow.
It's all coming together, all the rain clouds go and we start work. There's about probably 3 weeks of work straight after the wet before you actually start mustering. Everything's coming good. Spot on. There's a lot of fencing to be done, you know, repair, holding paddocks, maintenance. There's plenty to be done. Never stops. It's a bit of fun, bit of a buzz for all the blokes.
After a 2 or 3 month break, they come back and they're ready to go again. Happy to be back, usually, hopefully.
Welcome to Coolibah, Jeff.
Arriving with the other workers is one of the new rookie pilots, and he's sure to add some colour around the place.
Been on a cattle station before?
Never, no.
Got a hat?
No.
No swag?
Not on me, no.
Oh, we'll have to get that organised.
At the tender age of 20, Sunshine Coast boy Jeff is already a licensed chopper pilot. And he's come to Coolibah to try and fly with the big boys.
It's Lurchy. Not sure what Lurchy does, but he's been here a while. I'll show you your room.
It's almost like a different country being out here. I mean, I know it's still in Oz, but just, yeah, everything's so different.
Yeah, the nearest beach is probably about 500 k's north of here, so he won't be needing his boardies for a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's in store for me for the next 6 months or so, but my goal's just try and get straight up into the air into a chopper ASAP.
But Jeff's about to find out that's not how things work around here.
I think he's brand new. I don't think he knows what's going to happen.
There's a saying, you got to learn to walk before you run. So at Coolibah, Jeff's got to learn to bulldoze before he can fly.
It isn't what I expected. Like, it's a bit different. Finding out the rules more and more as we go along.
They want to be mustering pilots, but I don't know whether they will be or not. They need to learn about cattle and stock and how a property runs first. You've got to be prepared to work hard. If they don't do that, they might as well go back where they come from. I reckon one of them will only last a week, I'd say. We'll find out.
And with mustering approaching, the jobs are only going to get harder. So is Jeff going to stick it out?
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly how long I'll be here for. I'm really hanging out to get up. I'd love to. I'd so love to be in the air. Be good. But oh well.
The wet has finally broken. And everyone's working to get Coolibah ready for mustering season. These are your average backyard jobs done the Joneses way. From putting up a shed.
They'll have this side on tonight, I reckon, way they're going. Bit of organisation, eh?
Mowing the lawn. And watering the plants.
Bit of gardening, that's it. This time of the season, we should be into mustering and everything, but this has got to be done as well.
But with all the work, someone has to play.
Delivery for little Milton. What is it? It's full of pirate stuff.
Little Milton's on a treasure hunt.
Yo, ho, ho, and a bottle of rum.
With Rainey, his friend from next door.
Almost every day's dress-up day. He loves dressing up as a pirate.
Yeehaw!
The young fella's almost ready to trade his sword for a pen and start school. And when he does, Mum and Dad won't have to go far to drop him off.
He's getting a little schoolroom built so he can concentrate better. You know, inside the house, it's too many distractions.
While his brother and sister go to boarding school in Brisbane, little Milton will do his first grades in a classroom for just one student.
He was very excited about getting it. When we bought it across the river, he wanted to move into it. We couldn't get him out of it, actually. He wanted to live in there permanently. Didn't want to do schoolwork in there, but he wanted to live in there.
It's hard work here. That's a school.
Christy and I are just digging out a bit of ground. We're going to put some sand in here and then put some of the pavers here, just so we've got a little bit of a veranda and paved area out front of the schoolhouse. Can do sort of the outdoor activities of little Milton. He's only doing preschool, so it's all fun stuff anyway, and should be pretty enjoyable, we hope.
While the ladies plan for little Milton's formal education, Dad reckons it's time the little man learned a thing or two from the school of the bush.
Righto, hop over. I'll grab them eggs, eh? Grab them a few eggs.
This Arvo, little Milton's visiting Rainey's Croc farm next door to learn another side of the family business.
That's the last ones for the year, eh?
Now, why don't we put them in an incubator now?
Well, that's the last few eggs. Come on, put them in. Oh, well, you got to teach him how to work, yeah. He does a bit, eh? He's just starting to do a bit now.
Now, why hatch them.
Yeah, they'll hatch.
Now?
There's some there that are hatched out, look. Here's the other big one, there he is, look. He's a big one, that one. I reckon he'd eat anything.
Crocs are one of the dangers of work and life at Coolibah.
Back that bone.
You are savage.
And for little Milton, this is the perfect place to learn about his nasty neighbours.
Quick, see how quick they are?
Very big.
It's all good for him later on. He gets a bit of practical experience and common sense. Go with a good education, he should turn out all right. All right, quickly now.
And the lessons don't stop at the farm. Tomorrow's little Milton's birthday and Dad's got him an early gift.
Get in. Hang on to your crocodile. Gotta keep your hands under him, that's it. You're right, play with him.
He wants that, Dad.
Well, you know what we'll do? We'll take the nose rope off him. You want the nose rope off him? No, well, don't get rough with him.
At Coolibah, it's a special day for a very special little bloke.
It's little Milton's birthday today. It's very exciting. He's 4.
He opened all his presents at 5 o'clock this morning. Oh, here he is over in the workshop.
That's a bit harsh. You having to work on your birthday, mate.
We have to, so we can put a used, so we can get a used tractor.
What's your favourite present? Your toolbox?
Yeah.
We might be nearly ready to start it, I think, now.
We're all going to knock off at about 12 o'clock, so yeah, have a bit of a party.
While it's a day to celebrate, not everyone's happy.
We're off to the end of the road to go and collect the food order.
With Trevor the cook still missing, Christy's on shopping duty. And unless you hunt, the only way to get grub out here is off a truck.
Mostly food in the order and then just basic stuff like cleaning products and just your general stuff you buy from the supermarket. It comes out on a truck instead. You don't have to walk through all the aisles. There it is.
But doing a job she didn't sign up for is starting to take its toll.
Yes, so we'll be pleased when it's all over. Run out of room, I reckon. It's quite tiring because you got to get up early and finish late with everything else that I do during the day. It gets a bit much.
But luckily for Christy, back at the ranch, there's a surprise waiting in the kitchen.
We'll go in and see what's going on, hey? Hey! What's going on?
What's happening?
What are you back here?
Trevor the cook has reappeared.
You didn't muck around cooking the feed.
Got to get
Straight into it, eh?
Corned beef.
And where he's been is no longer a mystery.
He went back to the Gold Coast where he comes from for a bloody week or two and pulled the pin. Where's the corned beef?
In the oven now, it's
Come on.
cooked.
I'm going to try it. Well, that's the go. Oh, look at that. So my wife rang him up and said, do you want to come back and work? And I said no.
Is that the way? You want more? Hey, we've got more to come for dinner, you know.
But I said, righto, I said, if he comes back, you employ him. He's your employee, not mine.
That's right.
So my wife employs the cook, yeah. Yeah.
I've convinced him to come back and hopefully, he said he was refreshed. He had a good break, so hopefully he's going to be here all season.
Take your hat off too when you come in the kitchen.
Oh, righto. That's, well, that's good. Yeah, he's not a real likeable person, but he's not a bad cook, put it that way.
But say what you want about Trevor, he has made one lady's day.
I didn't think I'd be as happy as I was. definitely don't have to do the cooking, which is great.
Okay, no worries. Talk to you later.
It's tools down and time to celebrate.
I have a bit of a party every year for little Milton's birthday. I will just have a cake and a bit of a party and a few drinks.
And folks have come from all over to live it up with the birthday boy.
Everyone had a really nice time. Little Milton was just so excited. He had a great time.
Oh no, it'll go everywhere here. Why don't you save it?
Obviously, it's not a normal little kid's birthday party because we don't have other little kids around to invite over. So we make a special effort for him, and yeah, we do all come together.
I'd like to thank everybody for turning up for little Milton's birthday party. Let's have a drink.
It's a new year in a young life.
Can't do another one?
And a new season at Coolhouse. And trust me, knowing the Joneses, they're going to have a lot more stories to tell.